to be fair, I've only had half my baguette so far. The other half is still staring at me, so that's gonna go in the next map break.
But you have to spend an entire map of Clubhouse just staring at half an eaten loaf of bread now.
The loaf of bread has been here during the entire first map as well, so has everything else. Like 5 minutes before we went to call time, I was like, I have an idea when I saw that we were going to do the 6 Invitational promo. And I instantly went to go check where my 6 Invitational beret was from back from the first SI bureaus. And I managed to find it still. So, yeah.
I respect the fact that you just have a baguette in your house at all times. That is a commitment to the bread cause, I feel. Going into this, though, commitment needs to come out now from DYA. They've lost map number 1. It was their map pick. It was a 7-1. That's a brutal beatdown, of course. But now we're in Clubhouse. Now it could really be anybody's, because like I touched on, everybody knows how to play this map. Everybody knows what to bring to the table. Expecting, hopefully, a little bit more feistiness from DYA here.
Hoping to see that as well, of course. The thing is, Clubhouse is that map of basics, and we just saw them completely being beat down. Like,
attackers need to locate
I really hope to see them reliving themselves, because this is going into like another great start for the side of Geeky. If they manage to find 3 or 4 rounds right away, the game's just over, and that's just not something you want to you want to suffer.
I think the key factor sometimes when it comes to Clubhouse is because everybody, you know, no one's reinventing the wheel in terms of the utility you're taking, in terms of the setups you're taking. You know where they're going to start pushing from, so it really does come down to those fundamentals. It comes down to, again, hopefully, you know, seeing a bit more assertiveness from DYA, a bit more eagerness to look for that opening engagement, or even from the get-go, just trying to play a bit more effectively around that trade. We're seeing still a little bit of an extension come out. Devils is still on that top floor. Maybe he'll stay there. Because with having this extension, it does allow you to pressure the map a little bit more effectively. Especially if Geeky want to get a bit more stuck in. Speaking of which, Hungry just immediately beaming it through Strip towards Bar. Has taken so much control already. Is aware of the fact that they've got this barricade set up. Again, a known strategy. Nothing is going to be new when it comes to the way that they play on this Clubhouse. It's just about having the right kit in your arsenal to deal with it.
Fallback coming up as we do see Geeky slowly starting to take control of that first floor, off that top floor. There's no real meaning to stick around. And they've done this relatively quickly though, Grace. About 30 seconds in, and the fallback's already encountered. That for everything that might have been around. So Geeky is going to use all that remaining time now to start working on opening up all the verticalities. On making sure that they have all the information they could possibly want. Ooh. That's cheeky. Very cheeky from Moretz.
That's massive though, because again, yes, for Buggy, it's the easiest and safest way usually to you know, make that verti in that kind of kitchen and kitchen hallway area. They've been able to kind of get that util going, but from the get-go, again, Moretz just being willing to contest that verti that was made, jump in through the window at the wrong time, Rexon losing his life nice and early. Again, no trade being established because of the positioning of those players.
Minute 15 left, and the pressure slowly starting to rise. Of course, we'll have to do it 1 man less. The fuser as well dropped in the middle of that kitchen, so will have to be recovered. As Skyper getting a little bit of a ping. Nothing really yet to work with. Nitro cells in pocket as well. Just that's a little bit short. Might be able to get them if they start pushing that hallway though. With these 50 seconds left, you know that a hatch drop is about to be imminent. And with the Bs giving away some of the information, Skyper might actually be very confident in this swing as he drops in for one. Instantly blinded. Didn't know about the second one out there though, right behind the open wall. Nitro cell popping. Second one tossed in as well. Will find Hungry. That's going to be the Ossack gone, so the talent shield's off the board. Diffuser now dropped in the middle of the site. And Kano, the last man standing with a dream in a 1v5, needs to ace clutch with 20 seconds. Will find a first for his efforts. But he's not going to get any further. Devils will find him with a shotgun right afterwards, and that will conclude round number 1.
Yeah, that's absolutely massive, actually, to start like that on the side of Diavolo. But again, it is kind of what we touched on that they needed to do, right? They needed to start poking those holes nice and early. A little bit of hesitation on my part, I must confess, at first, because, you know, that bar pressure started coming in. It felt like there wasn't enough backup, so we saw this immediate, you know, push down within 30 seconds, you know, back into sight, everyone kind of hunkering down there, and you're kind of thinking, oh no, Diavolo, don't go passive again. You know, you need to hit the ground running here. To then have Marats get that opening kill and deal with Rex Hunt, and then Skyfer collects that little free piece. Again, you just apply that pressure, deny the trade for as long as possible. Great work from Diavolo to get this game started in a really nice way for them.
It's a very good start indeed, especially after the beatdown we've just received with the 7-1. Putting that one round on the board already now on that defense is a great start. But it is the basement, and the thing I want to say about that basement is that in general it is a quite hard attack. You are very much focused in getting those drops down the hatches, and as soon as you have a man advantage this early on, that when untraded, you're finding yourself in some pretty good like cards for the side of DFO. So they played them well after they managed to get their hand dealt, and you know, were able to play them out. However, now they're up on those top floors, and those top floor attacks are a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more horizontal, and coming down to a bit of a more fair fight. So these two sides, the CCTV cache and gym bedroom, are going to be the true test of the defensive capabilities of DFO.
Really will be. Especially with how cheeky GK like to get, especially approaching a site like this. They'll take every angle they possibly can. Ooh, a bit of a misplacement of that Selma. Packball getting caught off guard there on the breach as well. Massive work from Aerial right now, getting a pick, sending out C4. It does not connect, but think about the pressure that he's already applying as GK start to try and work this angle. He's really holding on to things now. Spoke too soon, didn't I? Aerial falling down. That's a good cleanup there from Hungary. So again, think about the pressure that they've now opened up for themselves. 2 players gone. And yes, there's, you know, black eyes out and about. There's a little bit of an overview. Little bit of information falling into the hands of Diavolo to play around, but GK, they can poke more holes. We've seen them do a lot of nice things when it comes to this gym approach. Might see a rotation downstairs as well at some point if they need it. At the moment, it doesn't seem that way, to be honest. Maybe if they get an inkling as to Devil's position, they might chase after him. But realistically, as soon as they get the info, they might just go and try and force his plan to happen.
All trying to hold as Hungry swings in deep. Rexon will find the very first. Trades are coming through, but there is a little bit of doubt in where these attackers are coming from. And as they know of one on the main stairs and the other is being spotted by the bees, it is Kano going on the upside down. Repel finding the first kill to try and slow things down. Rats will find one, but there's still a minute left on the clock. It's so much time. And as he goes over towards logistics, there's actually a player out there, I believe a drone as well, underneath the hatch, giving away the information as Marat's spotted, known, falling back towards the bedroom side. There is someone right next to his wall as he takes even more damage. He's on 1 HP now. Nitrocell will fly out, not finding anything as he's about to be double teamed, and GK take round number 2 on the board.
Really lovely. And again, it was an admirable start coming out from Diavolo. They were doing the right things. But as soon as they start to lose those bodies, and it's like, okay, at that point you've lost 2 players, and there's still someone downstairs, because that's a sensible read. You do expect, okay, it's GK, maybe someone's gonna get on the Deimos or something, or they're gonna start, coming aggressively from below, and they're gonna try and rotate up the main stairs. So it's a sensible position to be in, but it does just leave you all a little bit isolated on your one, and that's where pinches can come through a little bit more effectively on the side of GK. Ultimately, though, in that round, it's just GK winning their ones, hitting their shots, doing what they do best.
Loading new magazines.
Over top 4 site now, as we are going to head to CCTV. Again, we will have a nice extension from this site. Again, playing very standard, very bread and butter. Someone will be on rafters. I assume there will be a magnet on that kind of rafters vent,
located a bomb.
Protecting whoever's going to be playing there. Not too much in terms of cover, but again, GK being sensible to ban out the Azami, because she's lovely on a map like Clubhouse. Not bringing out any other shield either, so Going to be a little bit squishy on rafters. Have to be careful if you are playing that position. This certainly will be a benefit. A lot of castle investment. These barricades just to cut off any additional approach from below. Denies a pinch occurring on the side of GK.
Can I introduce you to a little bit of weapon inspect going out from Hungary?
I respect it.
I was going to say, can I introduce you to the RC Retiro drones when we're talking about the castle barricades? Because Rexon, right now, is destroying exactly them. So, those castle barricades are going to be gone. Of course, some utility was used by that for the attack, as one of the breaches already being made as well. Actually, that castle barricade is providing quite some safety for the side of Packbull. He doesn't really have to worry about someone sneaking up into stock because that has been opened up. So, allowing him to be a bit more secure on his approach, on his hold around that position. And as the first minute passes, CCTV, of course, being the site we need to approach, it seems like GK is going to go for the entire top 4 sweep. Now, the breach has already been opened up by Packbull. That was one of the first things he's done. Second, you would like to have a little bit of pressure on the garage. They can still do that. They have a hard breach gadget in the pockets of Kano. They could be putting that up to try and open it up, try and create a little bit of phantom pressure so they can start clearing out mezzanines.
Reload.
Skyper just getting stuck in. Testing here from construction. Good little clapback there, just using those nades to push them back a little bit for now. Vittoria's coming in. I push people out of position long enough to get that wall open. Secondary hard breaches. I think that has indeed done it. Packball and Rexon getting aggro now, going for a lovely little bit pinch pressure there on both sides. That's light and below to 5 versus 3, and you've still got the Blackbeard in play. My Hap, what can they do?
The big question. 50 seconds. It's still a lot of time for the attack here to find these last 3 players. Flashbangs are coming through and they isolate 1 player in the side of red as well. Make that 2. Skyper will find 1 before he drops. Ariel providing cover from the side of the mezzanines. Has those glasses, of course. Can make sure that he's not affected by flashbangs or smokes. As Rats goes low. Will find another kill. Knows about 1 pushing up on the red stairs, but will not be able to find him. And now Ariel is isolated inside of the garage. Nitrocell will not fly far enough. The plant will be attempted just momentarily, and we do have Packbull on that cut down, so there's no way for Ariel to make it over towards the actual planting position without being seen. 45 now, counting in favor of GK, as there is a little bit of elevation going on. Rexon dealing small amounts of damage. Ariel still standing though, still fighting. With these 30 seconds left, still needing to find these 3 bodies. He's going to hop over, instantly picked up by Packbull as soon as that leg shows through the window. And as the 5s come out once more, it is GK leading the round and the game as well.
Very difficult in those moments to work out what you need to do. You know, if you jump through the window, someone's probably holding that line of sight. Maybe rotation to bottom garage and trying to push up red could be better, but again, you know there's most likely 2 players waiting for you at the top of that as well. Given how aggro GK tend to get, you get again such a bit of rock in a hard place. That was such a lovely kind of combination of timings though coming out from GK, and they really just show the way that they work together so fluidly as a team. You know, you have that pressure coming in, you know, firm enough on that doorway of Cash, and that kind of alleviates some of that pressure to Rotora coming in just to push people away from that breach wall so you can get that secondary hard breaching gadget down as well. It's like clockwork, and that's what every team needs to be looking at. Okay, when we're bringing this kind of utility, are we able to time everything so effectively to help us to get this done? Back downstairs now. Castle coming out in Skyfer does imply once again we're going to see that barricade setup occurring. Just to try and slow things down. Hopefully a little bit more effective this time.
Swapping mag!
Last time it was Hungry, of course, who just ran through everything like it was nothing, causing them to have to fall back nice and early. I'd like to see DYA try and contest it a little bit longer on the extension this time.
Door barricade deployed!
Again, hopefully they can bring that same kind of assertiveness to get that opener under their belts that we saw from Marat last time. They're dealing with Rexon nice and early. GK aren't bringing out anything for Verti here, so it does look like they're going for a slightly different approach. They're bringing out the Dokubi. They've got the Sens as well. That's going to cut off a load of line of sights. there's not really going to be too much focus on getting vertical control unless we're using those secondary pads in the pocket of Skipper and Cano. It's going to be about poking holes, Hap.
Sometimes it's just what you gotta do. It's the drones on the grading up above, providing some really good information, and well, Angry just bashing through with ease, already finding himself with control of bar, instantly putting up small amounts of pressure as well towards that main stairs as he comes around the corner. Devils, he knows he's going to be challenged, takes a small amount of damage, but instead will decide to fall back, not sticking around longer than he has to. Plenty of nitro cells in the pockets of Diavoli, and probably expect one or two to be used to try and fish towards these hatches. As soon as outreach gadgets are being placed, just blow up that nitro cell. You might find a player off, catch them off guard. So of course it detonates right after placement. And with a minute 45, of course, plenty of time for the attack, but don't have a man advantage. Don't really have any horizontal pressure. Everything needs to come from the hatches currently. That is what they're trying to change.
Of course, they do have that sense as well. So at some point we will see those discs start to be rolled out. Skipper very aware of the fact that he needs to get rid of these mirror windows as well. Beautiful and well-timed C4 coming out from Marats. Yes, that hatch is open, but at least you've dealt with one of those players, and more importantly, that was for Sens. That's that cover gone, that covering utility that they were really relying on for that collapse. Skyper, beautiful pick down to Cano as well. This is great work from Diavoli. 2 players down, no trade to come out from GK either. Yes, they've still got the Blackbeard, but you still need to get down into sight.
Not just that, it is going to be the diffuser down on the ground as well, and well, a Scyther picks up 2 for his efforts. It's almost shut down. Hungry gets to instantly shut down afterwards. And once again, the ground floor won by Diavoli. But that's what I said, like, it is a heart attack, yes.
Yes.
The big worry is these 2 top floors. That's where they need to also get an extra round on the board. I'd be happy if they get 3. Of course, 4 would be better for them, but 3 is still already a good start for Diavoli.
There's little things like they are playing this so much better from Lair because of their willingness to try and take those entries. You know, both times on the bottom floor, we've seen Marats really get stuck in and try and get that opener, and it's happened both times on the bottom floor. The first time we went to Jim, we saw some really gorgeous plays come out from Ariel before he was finally dislodged from that bathroom position. That's the kind of key factor here for Diavoli. They're getting these openers, and it's then just, okay, can we hold on to the rest of it? Can we keep hold of things? Can we play a little bit around each other a lot more clearly as soon as we get that opener? That is the main factor here for them, I think. And again, it's the even Stevens playing field of Clubhouse. So there's a lot of really safe predictions you can make in terms of where GK are going to end up. We've already seen Diavoli, even rounds that they've lost. You can see that they are thinking into, okay, it's GK, maybe they're going to do X, Y, Z, so I should position myself here. You've got it. It's a big load of mental warfare right now for Diavoli, to be honest.
I mean, being 7-1 in your first map is already a big strike on the mental, no matter how you spin it. Of course, GK is the team to beat. There's no 2 ways around it, but you just want to show what you got against them, because it's a good measurement.
100%. Like we touched, it's that benchmark, right? It's that good data that as a team, every team realistically left in South Breach right now, they should be sat there being like, we want to be the best team in the world. You know, it's these T2 teams where the focus is T2 final, the focus is CS, the focus is that promotion into EML. And that promotion into EML, that should not be the limit for you at that point either. The sky should be the limit. You know, farming EML, trying to get to majors. There's so much potential for every one of these rosters that are left. And it starts here. It starts here by being like, okay, if GK are the best team in the T2 circuit, how do we fare against them? What can we learn from these experiences as well? If we lose, okay, but what do we learn? And when you learn something, have you truly lost?
strike.
Yes. This is like he still lost the game.
Okay, pedantic. I was trying to be deep, okay?
I get what you're trying to say, but he's still lost. Like a 7-1 loss is still a loss, Chris. Like, no matter how you spin it.
I can't. Goodness me.
Right, well. So we're back at the top 4 again. Just get some more bread. No.
Reload!
Head away. Again, just clearing it out from the top, not really having to put any pressure on anything else. I actually like that. The track stinger being pushed out to backball. Where did that come from? That was just run out? What's Carlo doing then if he's just standing out there? Gonna have to go and chase him now. Try and figure out where that kill came from. At least, you know, they've opened it up. They've managed to get themselves inside CCTV. But his nitro cell could be absolutely deadly coming through. Doesn't hit anything. There's Kano setting the frag. Is going to get his head removed. Devils. But a great round as he finds his third. Still alive, still kicking as Skyper. He comes up. Actually stuns himself. Quite unfortunate. Still trying to win that fight as Devils still running around, I believe, in the side of construction. As he's fallen back after those 3 kills. Both Rexon and Skyper now moving in to try and clean up. But he's still on for the ace. And I believe he's heading inside the logistics right around the corner. And as the opening is being made and fire is being popped. Actually, no, Devils is out towards the left of logistics. Someone else is hiding in the corner. As the breach happens, Rexon is trying to go for the jump over. It is Maratz that finds him with the shotgun. And Skyper now on his own is being shut down as well. A flawless round from Diavoli. Well done to them. That's exactly what they need to start building momentum.
Yeah, and again, more importantly, it's that buddy system finally coming through. If you feel like, okay, this is a bit awkward and clunky for us sometimes when we're trying to take these 1v1s or 1v2s, have that buddy system going. Shut down Geeke so quickly there, leaving them in that 2v5. At that point, yeah, you just hold back, hold those angles. They've got limited information. The drones aren't giving them much at that point. I think there was like 1 drone live in garage, and again, what's that going to give you? Only the idea that if someone flanks behind you, at least you're prepared for that, but nothing much in terms of where everyone else is on site. And for Diavoli, it shows a lot of self-control in those moments too, to not go gung-ho, not to start throwing themselves towards Geeke. We've done enough damage, we've caused enough carnage, we just have to hold his crossfires now, lads, and the round is ours. Great work. CCTV cache again. Barricading up that bottom floor. Once again, and again, last time it was very awkward for them to hold on to that site pressure. Maybe they have a little bit of a cheeky wee extension. Ooh, they actually opened up the wall this time. They've only going hyper aggressive with the site setup, Hap.
Yeah, and I do like that. As long as they can hold on to it. Smarats and Devils both playing closely around the early engagements that could be happening. An instant opening happening already on the CCTV walls. Exactly what they need. Packball waiting just a little bit longer before choosing to detonate. Not wanting to have any of those same shenanigans that happened earlier. As a smoke canister pops in from the actual red hallway, will block their line of sight. Garage has been opened up as well, and this allows Hungry to just extend that shield and to start walking into mezzanine. And whilst he does that, he's going to be clearing out players one by one. This grenade, he's not cooking it, don't worry, he's just waiting for the time. Gonna open up the castle barricade, and now the pressure onto Maratz is coming from 2 sides. As Ariel as well, playing on top of the rafters, is going to be forced back here and there. As Devils is coming to provide a little bit of support. It's Ariel trying his best to kind of sneak around. And they're aware of what the plan is. Diavoli is not giving them an inch. And you gotta respect this. They're not going aggressive when they know what is the plan. Because they want to have Maratz go aggressive or to fall back so they can pick him up. They want Ariel to overextend and try and find a way to take down that shield. But as soon as they do, it is going to be Geeke ready to respond, ready to pick up those kills, as now the chases are coming through. And this is what they repel us for. They're just hoping that it will overstep and extend or something else, but it's not happening. And thus, the second gadget will have to be brought out. It's Kano, who's hunting with the death mark. Will get Ariel to force back. The ADS from the shield comes in as well. They will find a kill thanks to the breach. And this will open up a lot of ground towards Hungary now, where they can actually try and start working on getting that plan down on the board.
But for DYA, that buddy system came through and it kept Marat's alive long enough so he could rotate back upstairs. Unfortunately, Ariel, yes, has been left on his one in that moment, just wasting as much time as he could before going down. Site control relatively in the hand of Geeke now, especially with this Monty kind of blocking the doorway. We did just see a drop down though. Zelda's going for a cheeky little rotation here. Maybe to try and deny from below, but they were ready for it, ready and waiting. Kano is going to shut him down, and that's going to be a post-DP. Marat's going massive, though, a two-piece, dealing with the Monty from behind as well. Oh, my days. Rexon and Kano, all for it to do, have to hold on to this, and Marat is still on the hunt. He's looking for those bodies. He's looking for those heads. Rexon, he's not going to be able to get the right angle in time. Yes, he is. By the slightest pixel, finds that headshot. And denies the defuse at the slightest second. And that's a heartbreaking round loss for DYA. Again, Marat's going absolutely massive there, Hap.
Marat's almost single-handedly turning the tide of that battle, of this round. But being shut down at the final seconds. Honestly, they didn't know, and you cannot blame them for it, but if they would have gone for the counter defuse right away, and he would have just let his teammates worry about who's outside and who's coming in from garage, because that is, at that point, the two realistic options that could still be fought from, he would have been able to win that round. But of course, at that moment in time, like, there's a post plant. We're like 10 seconds into the post plant. You can expect these attackers to be in the right position at that point, especially when it's Geeke. So maybe that respect for Geeke saved them this round here.
Defenders, protect your bomb.
Denari coming out to play.
Jammer ready.
It's been a nice tournament for kind of seeing, okay, where is Denari going to be played? How is Denari going to be played? Yet to see a very, very massive play come out from that utility yet. There has been some lovely little setups. I'm excited to see what Hungary chooses to do here. Of course, that side swap, it does put Geeke into the slight power position. That timer now in their favor. They're the ones that sent that momentum.
5 seconds left.
But at least it's even Stevens on that free mark. And DYA, they know they just have to try and scrape these rounds in. Bringing a nice collection of utility as well. Of course, Striker coming out to play. Potentially to open dirt nice and early. An Ariel with those secondary hard breaches. So again, you're not bringing a firm hard breach. Banner is, of course, banned. You're using those secondaries, and that can sometimes give you a little bit more flexibility in terms of utility use. We have the Grimbees, of course, and again, with Striker, you get to bring two lots of utility. So those nades will certainly be an added benefit when it comes to applying the pressure a bit more directly to site.
Drone ready to be deployed.
The big worry is those attacks, though. Like we mentioned it before, Clubhouse is the basics. It's the fundamentals. Everybody and their grandmothers know how to attack basement. How to Clubhouse, sorry, not basement. Basement's hard. But if the volley is gonna struggle here, then that kind of says something about their attacks in general, right? Like if they're unable to get a coherent attack on the board, that's when you really start to worry about what is left for this team in the tournament. I'm not trying to spell doom. I'm just trying to highlight the issues that they've had throughout the tournament so far, and how Clubhouse could be a magnifying glass on those issues.
100%. And it was a worry again due to that group stage. those attacks. Lack of willingness at times to go for these secondary shot calls. Packball getting the open onto Maratz. That's massive. Maratz has had such a good day of siege today. Him going down early takes a significant amount of firepower from the pockets of Diavole. Devil's falling too. Cleanup starting to happen on the side of Geeke. No trades coming out from Diavole. Not in the right position to do so. At least they've got multiple angles covered, but again, you're isolated in these positions, so you really do have to be careful. Skyfer gets his one, but they know exactly where he is. These keepers can keep being plonked down to essentially hold him back. Zelda will go down to Packball. Ariel trying to find a scalp, can't get it. Rexon is going to shut him down, and they know exactly where that remaining player is. Look at them all hungry, running towards this doorway, waiting for that barrier to fall. There we are. Cypher, bless him, 1 versus 4 through a tiny little doorway. Not the most ideal of situations, Hap.
Know with all the explosives that are going off as well. As soon as that keeper barrier was opened up and Nitro 2 impacts and everything being tossed at him, the Fusel was down in the meantime as well. There was no need to worry on the side of Geeke. And round that was well under control basically throughout the entirety of the match. But you know, that's basement. And as I just said, basement's hard. Geeke wasn't able to win the basement attack either. This is where the true test starts. Going up to gym bedroom, coming up to CCTV. Those should be doable for the set of Diavoli on their attacks.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attacks.
Reloading. Swapping mags! Setting something up. Just need to cover first.
You can Denari set up on these windows. I do like the fact that we can have Denari now for the kind of gym hold. So that you can plonk that utility down. It will give you a bit of cover on those windows where, you know, a lot of times, sometimes teams, you know, you do get someone jumping very cheekily through the window those final moments of the round. And give you that little extra edge.
10 seconds to
A
go.
little bit of extra cover. Packball, of course, being on the Clash.
5 seconds remaining.
Seen such an uptick in Clash since her rework. And they're really not stopping now. Why wouldn't you if it's available? We've seen again how you can hold on to these really important power positions with ease. It's not too much of a fuss to just sit there with that shield and do your thing.
And it's effectively a mirror window that you can just put everywhere. In a doorway, in a broken wall, middle of a hallway. Just play right behind it. It's hard to actually counter when you're an attacker because, you know, the defender is always going to have the initiative there. They can always choose when to swing, and you can pre-fire all you want, but you never know exactly when it's going to happen.
EMP grenade.
EMP coming out very long, just falling over the edge. Still aware of something being out there. But the thing is, Benda and Kate have been banned. So what is out there? Now, it is a new jammer. Second EMP from very long away. Actually managed to open it up. That's going to give you full breach of Jacuzzi. Of course, next step will be to try and break into bathroom now. This is Hungry's territory. He's playing out there. There's a nitrocell. He has a shotgun. And another mute jammer that he's about to be placing down. And as a Selma is being placed, you just heard it out there. An EMP popped as well. And that's the last EMP they have. So that wall is staying shut. They're not able to open that up, Grace.
And this makes the kind of choke points a lot more effective now. And the Geeke, that's a nice position to be in.
Light set.
Rats has a tiny little bit of space to work with here, but again, it's an awkward jump in there. Dala's ringing through as they try and take that Logi control, but Rexon's there to shut down Alder. Skyper and Ariel, all full Marat will go as well. 1 versus 4 now. Devils taking out Rexon.
Oh.
There's not too much that he can do. Back against a wall. A fair bit of time to work with. Still busy away with the shotgun just around the corner. He is now. Rush going out just to hold things back somewhat, but utility works both ways. He's been once again locked out by Kibas. Poor Diavole, this keeps happening to them. Just an absolute Kiba fest. You keep the riffraff away and a C4 to the face. Goodness me.
Blown straight back out.
Goodness me. Geek edging closer to that match point now. Impact Ball has DC'd, so we are just going to wait for him to get back in the lobby. But again, Hab for DYA, what do they need to do right now?
It's rough to say because they're just being picked apart here. I think you just need to slow it down more. Like, bring it back a bunch, use your drones, isolate players. I think that's the most important part. Isolate players. If you manage to find yourself with a minute advantage, everything just becomes a lot easier to actually pull off. You're just going to go for a 5-on-5 explosion towards, like, the side or adjacent. Defenders, of course, are going to be ready. So, DYA, show us what you got. CCTV cache. This is, for a while, this has been like the most attacking sided side that has seen a lot of play in pro play for quite a while. Of course, like there's always the offside, gets won by the attack, and it's like 100%, but this one was played like tens of times. And the attack was always seemingly favored.
Attackers need to locate and defuse the bomb.
Ooh, cheeky bit of soulless action coming out from Hungary. And remember, everyone at home, it's not just about finding those drones and bits of electrical utility and kind of calling that out. Yes, that is a massive benefit, especially in the case of working out where drones are coming from, where flank drones are. It can kind of give you an inkling as to which push people are going to go for. But it's also going to potentially be really useful if you do want to play in that late round. If you're able to drop down, for example, say construction hatch gets opened, and you can drop down there, get to stage, and go below CCTV itself and deny with that spec IO. Especially in conjunction with the yokai drones too. There's loads of kit here really focused around denying that plant on the side of Geeky. And of course, them being allowed to have those Kiba barriers, it has been a menace for DYA to deal with at times, and almost kind of taunting them when they're left in these 1vx's. Loads of Kibas being thrown towards your face. You can't get in at all.
And I mean, at some point, you also expect that with the bans that came through, like Cade and Bandit, like, you were able to open up the walls, and usually that's like, I mean, this sounds rough, but like the hardest part of Clubhouse. Like opening up the wall for CCTV cache. Like after that, you just push them out with a shield, and like you have an opportunity to plant. But even though they're opening up these walls, they're not able to get anything out of it, and that is that painful notion of this fact. Like I'm fully expecting Braxton to get his Azami removed after this when the new set of bans come through. I just don't know how much is going to help the attack.
No, you're completely right. And again, yes, for now, GK have that dislodge. Look at that. I mean, what can you do? And again, he's not even asked about the fact that we've got a Monty coming towards us. Skipper going absolutely humongous. There's that backup. There's that cavalry that tends to occur around this garage area. If someone's playing on rafters and that pressure starts to come through, all you need is that buddy system to come in. Goodness me! Claymore to the face. It takes out Marantz in the progress, and that is unfortunate for DYA. A 1 versus 4. And again, them being in that 1vx situation.
Gonna make it worse for you. Like, Skyper was actually running for the doorway. I think he wanted to cast a barricade it off. So Monty was not able to leave anymore. But unable to do so, as the stunts were not well timed, and they ran out eventually there from the side of Hungary. Geeky get themselves a map and series points. What could be an expected 2-0, but very quick 2-0. Just 4 rounds on the board in total for the side of DYA across these 2 maps so far.
Yeah, and that does kind of give you a little bit of a disappointed feeling, really. Again, I think that, okay, we can take what they were saying at face value, right? When they were saying, okay, yeah, group stage, we're not really, we're not going to show a full hand and blah, 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 blah. And as soon as it gets started up playoffs, you're like, okay, well, this is it now. Show us the things. And it was a 2-1 start, winning against Gaming Team, and now they're kind of leaving a lot to be desired against Geeky. And yes, it's the best team in the circuit, realistically, but I just want a bit more bite from them. Because it does feel almost at times like Geeky are playing with their food, you know, and that makes for an uncomfortable watch.
It's very entertainment watch.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
You're
bombs.
Diavoli, you're a Diavoli fan.
Takes two. Deploying barrier.
I mean, that's exactly it, right? Like, in that last round as well, they knew all the pressure's coming up to rafters. The first kill comes in, Rexon shuts down the player that was on the doorway. And at that point, you have two coming in from the garage breach. Skyper swings around from small steps, instantly takes down two. Suddenly it is a 1v2 against that Monty, who is backpedaling as quickly as he can to get the hell out of the building. And he just gets out of the building. Kiva bears get deployed, and the moment he destroys it, he's just being ran out on, and the claymore of a teammate kills him because the attacker detonates it. It's just such an aggro round coming in from the side of Geek, and Diavoli just unable to do anything about it. Nothing. And now you're at the match point behind. And Diavoli, if there was a time you're going to be showing us what you got against Geek, gotta be now. On this basement attack, I know it's hard, but you gotta do it now, because otherwise this match is over and you're finding yourself in the lower bracket.
Make it or break it, and it's more ominously kind of knowing for us watching right now that Hungry's on the Maestro. That Alta's gonna be in his hands. Again, GK, they've had some really lovely setups that they like to use when it comes to bringing out the old Maestro. I like the Diavoli going safety first here. They're going for full clearance and they're using that buddy system as they go. Aldo and Skyfer kind of stacking up there on the main stairs. This is a little fail-safe. You know, you need Aldo to stay alive for as long as possible, so you can start working that skeleton key in that hallway and in that kitchen. Half the round gone. You don't want to dilly-dally too much. Aerial preparing to apply pressure to blue. Diavoli poking holes where they can. They'll be aware of the fact there's evil eyes in play now. Kano dealing with Marats. Great start. Just holding on to this dirt area. Oh, indeed. Skyfer deals with him. Blood being spilt on both sides, but again, time is ticking. A little bit more setup may be needed from Diavoli. Otherwise, they just have to try and take these gunfights to win the round.
Still the opportunity. I mean, there's a minute left. As a swing comes around, they're trying to find Cider, but the second one is going to fall to his shield. And up to 12 on 8. Pre-fires coming through, another one found. And now Skyper, together with Packbull, in the 2v4, rotates out, headshot found, Skyper down to 1. He's not gonna last very long. If he lasts at all, he will find 1 kill, not the second. As Ariel shuts him down, and another round is on the board for the side of Diavoli. They live for a round. They need to find 2 more to push us to OT.
I think they do a better job when they kind of, again, just work a bit more around that buddy system. That's something for them to maybe look at a little bit to try and get us to overtime. Is that pressure still on him? It is match point still. Again, yes, you can kind of bring out the utility like a Blackbeard. That's certainly going to be a benefit, right? You've got that aggressive shield util. They're not bringing it out this round. Maybe they'll go for a repick, but we'll see. It is gym bedroom. And this was a bit of a, again, uncomfortable take for them last time. PK, of course, having that clash. Having what felt like an endless flurry of keepers at the end to block that main door from construction. The key factor here is, again, for Geek, it's not like they're doing anything unexpected. We're not bringing the Denari out this time, so we're going to use the El Clasico, that castle that you can bring out when you're defending this site. You know, put some on the windows. Sometimes people like to have one on the cache doorway.
I dare you to come closer.
We'll see where Hungry ends up plonking them down. especially given that we have this extension coming out from Packball. Everything might be focused a bit more towards site. We've got one in construction. And loads of utility for Diavolo to get a little bit aggro, and again, mostly for clearance as well. Like, they have a lot of tools here to do a lot of different things. EMPs in the pockets. I think the walls are open though. Again, Ratoro should be able to deal with this castle barricades pretty quickly. They've got the Sens to cut off lines of sight. And they've got those Candelas if they want to go super aggressive. Love the use of the Sens disc there on just to cut off that kind of line of sight from the window. I think that's a really nice, sensible use of that util, just to give you that safety net.
Drone inside, quickly checking, knows about the player that's close on the mattress. Zarsi Roteros keep popping. Saito just has perfect view, knows exactly what's going on. I think the biggest worry they have right now is about what is in the bathroom, because as soon as they figure that one out, they can start to either move or to stick around. As Hungry retaking Jim just to get himself closer towards that breach. In a crucial position for the side of Geeke. He will most likely be among the first to find a fight. The CC shield, though, is stopping Marats from having any aspirations of jumping in from that breach. And as the wall is being watched, Rexon gets shut down. Beautifully done by Devils. Well read by the side of Diavoli. And with that, and a minute 20 left on the clock, there's now a man advantage. Candelas are being prepared as well to be tossed down from logistics to maybe act as a bit of a smoke screen. As a bit of a distraction. As here they come, the blinds will follow. Is Ariel gonna jump in himself as well? In the meantime, you are seeing them in the middle of the gym side. The plant's already happening as well, and so are the flashes. Kano gets shut down, and a beautiful round from Diavoli. As they approach and attack and collapse from every single angle they can possibly find on this map. And now they're one away from pushing us to overtime.
Capitalizing on the carnage that is created by that kind of utility as well. Remember the Candelas coming into Logi, and we've already got people kind of getting it immediately, that pressure into the bedroom hallway. We have that pressure coming from Cash all the way into construction. It's really, really good stuff. And again, in those moments, when there's Candelas in these moments of pressure, these bodies start dropping. Geeke, they don't know where to look. There's Sens walls everywhere. There's Candelas flying everywhere. It's carnage. And that can really be just that added bit of bite that you need sometimes to snuffle up a round like that. And it's a very important round too, because now Diavolo have put themselves in a position where they just need to get one more round, and this is overtime. This is a lifeline for them right now, Hap.
Yeah, they've been given the opportunity, and they've gladly made use of it. Getting themselves up to 6-5. Of course, they're still a single mistake away from losing out. But they're also a single round away from pushing this to overtime, as you just mentioned. Getting a little bit of extra breathing space. And this is what we want to see from Diavoli. I mentioned it before, everybody knows how to attack Clubhouse. They gotta show it. His first 3 rounds in a row went towards Geeke. Now they're finding themselves fighting back, finally, on that board. Yeah, I mean, you still lost your own map for the 7-1. But that is what it is right now. You're fighting for overtime, and after that, you're fighting for map number 3. Because even if you go down, you want to go down swinging against Geeke.
Yeah. Again, more importantly, is this idea of, okay, yes, that map of Lair didn't go great, but Lair can tend to be that little bit of a wild card pick still for a lot of teams. We consider the 3Cs to be those kind of standard maps. That's where things get a bit more even. Consulate, Clubhouse, Chalet. Of course, we've seen no Chalet this tournament. So far. Maybe we'll see a bit of it today.
I'd hope to see a bit of Chalet today. At least we're getting to see my favorite Clubhouse right now. One of my favorites. But yeah. Just waiting for the technical pause to be finished. As soon as it is, we are getting back into the map to continue where we left off, to see if we're either getting one more round or if we're getting at least 3 before we are able to decide which of these 2 teams is going to be a winner, or if we need to go towards a 3rd map. But at least the Diavoli is starting to show fight now. And that is what we want to see. We're seeing them live up. We're seeing them start putting up a threat towards Geeky. Well, of course, we mentioned it before. Geeky has nothing in the competition. Like, of course, they want to win the competition, but they have no priority winning the competition, considering the fact that they don't qualify through Tier 2 circuit. They qualify through a different means.
Attackers need to locate and
There's no pressure on them. Of course, they want to win, but it's not like they have to win.
I think that's a very good point, really. The Geeky, it's like a lot of these tournaments, right? They've been dominating, but there's no real pressure on them in these tournaments compared to the European teams. I think you know you're in a power position as well as Geeky right now, and if DYA, if they're able to pull this overtime and maybe win out this map and then we end up in Skyscraper, that's going to send hopefully a really big message. You're taking a map of Geeky of all people. Regardless of how that opener went. Yes, 7-1 is a bit rough, but this kind of shows, okay, back to the drawing board of that one. We know where to look when we have that kind of data. Feel okay about our Clubhouse. Proof is in the pudding. Fence starting to be poked out just a little bit. Garage opened at the back. Yeah, this is where you want to start applying fast aggression towards Wrexham. Last time we saw a drop down in a bit of a buddy system. Gonna come through. As expected, again, very default way to play around it. Skype kind of being in bedroom again. I am assuming construction hatch is open.
RCE set.
Yes, it is. So there is that rotation that can come through from Skipper. He is in construction now. Maybe he will drop down. If the call comes from Wrexham. And now DYA taking their time, clearing out some util. Giving themselves more options, Hap.
Painful though, you lost your Grim. Rexon will find that kill, was around on the steps, knows about Marats being around near the staircase. Now, as you saw, there is a drone up there as well. There is an Echo drone, and the Echo drone is providing a crucial stun! That was amazing! And they will find Marats killed! Because Rexon was completely blinded by the stuns! He will still die! But Marats is off the board. The timing on that was incredible. As soon as he on ADS, the stun came through, which cancelled that action. And the hipfire headshot landed the kill, which could now give them the round, the match, the series, and guaranteed play in the final weekend of South Breach. There's a second yokai coming around as well, just quickly dashing across to dig themselves in deep right behind the B-bomb chassis. There is still an evil eye down there as well, and that will start zapping as soon as they can. As the smoke canisters pop, the RC Retiro going to be removing that PC utility. 30 seconds. Ario with that diffuser. Knocking on the side. Saito will go down. It's all trying to make a push as well, and now only up to Ario in a 1v2. He will not last. Geeky. They will win their matchup, right? As it looked like DYA was able to push it towards overtime. And they said no. And continued firing on target, finishing their job in a quick 2-0 fashion turn into a slightly longer 2-0. The 2-0 nonetheless.
Heartbreaking end there for DYA, especially given that they were clinging on to it for so long.